Hey, what's up? Rizzo here for NextGenWalkthroughs.com, and this is Fallout 3. I'm currently in the Rivet City Bow in the mission of Replicated Man, looking for Horace Pinkerton. So just keep swimming along. If your oxygen level starts getting too low, just make your way back up, but you won't have to go too far. And pop out whatever weapon you want. Like I said, I like to use a shotgun against these guys. And there's always, if you come up this way, there's going to be a Mirelurk in front of you, and there's usually going to be one right behind you. And once all that nastiness is done, that's pretty much the rest of the combat. Well, of course, depending on your decisions later on in the mission, but you won't really have to do too much fighting after this. There's a couple traps upstairs on the way to Pinkerton, so I'm going to point them out to you, and I'm going to show you ways to get around them. And there's also some decent loot to pick up in here. So just follow along and pay attention. Alright, upstairs this way. First, go backwards. This is the way out. There's a scoped 44 Magnum that'll always be in this box here with the frag mine on top of it, so disable the mine and take the weapon. There's a med pack here to get its contents. This is the way we're going to be leaving, so just become familiar with it. Don't worry, you won't have to run towards it or anything. Now this is a booby-trapped hallway right here, and there's a booby-trapped room to the right, so deactivate this tripwire first. What it's going to do is it's going to drop a grenade way at the back of the room, and it's going to explode because you can see the gas. And there's also a pressure plate right there with two rigged shotguns pointing right at the doorway, so just walk around it. Take whatever you can get from this room, including two brand new combat shotguns, although every time I pick them up, they're always in shitty condition. Alright, so that's pretty much it. You've made it this far. There's the grenade bundle up here, but my explosives aren't high enough to deal with it. And just over yonder, beyond this here door, this is Pinkerton's lab. No. You're supposed to engage. Oh, by the way, be careful of that terminal. It's booby-trapped. So engage Pinkerton in a conversation. He's going to play dumb. He doesn't really want to give up his information too much, but he will give it up, don't worry.
How the hell did you get in here? I suppose you can't be all that bad if you made it this far without dying. This is the part where you tell me what the hell you are doing bothering an old man who obviously wants to be left alone. Get on with it already.
So this is the guy that you also want to see in the second chapter of the Wasteland Survival Guide, which I haven't recorded for this guide yet, but I will soon. He's the one you want to talk to about Rivet City's history. So if you have that active, you can actually bang out two things at the same time right here.
Don't believe anyone's done that before. Certainly not down here.
Pinkerton's going to give you a code to his computer that's going to allow you to access some files down there, but it's not necessary to complete the mission.
Flesh ain't so different than ours. You want proof? I documented the whole thing.
I'm also going to do some stealing. There's 3 skill books and 3 stealth boys in this lab, and I want them, so I'm going to take them. I'm going to point them out to you, too, where they are. I pretty much made it my directive to pick up practically every skill book that I come across and show you exactly where they are, because it's one of the best and easiest ways to get your character leveled up.
Hell, just take these pictures and this holotape. Straight from the synth man's lips. Just don't go telling Harkness, though. He won't believe
And this
you
guy's
anyway.
gonna bitch about Dr.
You
Lee,
really
blah
don't
blah
want to
blah
see
blah
him
blah.
upset. He can be a bit inhospitable. Oh, all right. So maybe I didn't wipe his mind like he asked, but I buried it deep. Almost as good, really. But it's still there. Still accessible. All you need to do is use the recall code. Just say to him, activate A321 recall code Violet, and that will activate the hidden subroutines.
Okay, so now you have
Don't let your guard
a
down.
choice. You can either, like I said, report to Zimmer or Harkness. But first, I'm gonna show you where some goodies are. So naturally, you want to crouch to make sure if you're hidden or not. All right, there's a medicine book here. This is the big book of science. Just wait until it says hidden. By the way, it's negative karma for all this, but I don't really care. It's not significant. And if you come around, here's a stealth boy. Another skill book. Stealth boy, and then there's just another stealth boy in the box below. Alright, so now that the thievery is done, it's time to go back to the main part of Rivet City and make a decision. So for this video walkthrough, it hasn't happened yet, but this woman named Victoria Watts is supposed to come and confront you and ask you to call off your investigation into the android. But she doesn't really. Like, she's supposed to come and give you one of these conversations that is initiated by an NPC, but I've noticed that she never initiates it. She'll just kind of stand next to you. If you haven't gotten into the conversation with her, and I haven't here yet, just go back into Rivet City and wait a little bit, and when you're done waiting, when there's some creepy woman looking at you, she's the one you want to talk to. She's going to give you an android component, and that's it's a piece that you can return to Zimmer. That's gonna convince him that his android is dead. It's the worst outcome because you only get a handful of caps and some good karma. But it's actually the easiest. You can just get the piece from her once you've done your investigating. You won't even see. Finding Pinkerton is completely optional. So I came over here and waited for Miss Watts to show up, and she just kind of walked through this door and stood there. Anyway, go chat her up, see what she has to say. And in the next 2 videos, we'll be making our choices, so I'll see you there.
Investigating? So is that it? You're some kind of investigator? A detective for hire? Or do you have some kind of personal grudge against an innocent android who simply wants to be left alone? Please tell me. I'd really like to know. Well, if that's true, then the first thing you need to do is halt your investigation. No more questions. No more searching. The movement I'm involved with, we help his kind escape their Commonwealth-imposed slavery. We help them disappear. You understand? You really want help? Take this. It's an internal component from the very android you're searching for. Don't ask how I obtained it. Present it to Dr. Zimmer in Rivet City. Tell him the android is dead and that was on the corpse. He'll believe you. Do that and Zimmer will go back to the Commonwealth and leave that poor soul alone. Do that and you'll have saved a man's life. You know what you need to do.